Everybody, this is MTG Commander. I'm about to open the Devour for Power Commander deck by Wizards. I really like these decks. They're interesting. This one, the Mimoplasm and Dama Sage of Stone, I didn't like as much as the others. I understand a lot of people liked it more. I think the Mimoplasm has a really awesome ability, and so does Damia. But to me, I don't know. I'm just not, I guess, a black, green, white player, even though that's the colors of the decks I play. Just together, I didn't really like them as much. But I'm about to open this bad boy up.
So
And
here
let's
are
see
the
what's inside.
generals. We've got the Mimoplasm, Vorosh, and Damia. And here's all the creature cards that are in the deck. I think it's a pretty good deck, to be honest with you, and I'll talk about a few of these cards later on. Just giving you a short little preview here. Uh, the creature base is pretty good. You know what? I really love these commander decks because they've really given a lot of good stuff to players who want to get into Commander. And I understand that they've made it as a casual format, but I personally would love it to be something like a format that you could play at FNM. So I'll just go through some individual cards that I think are awesome. I've already talked about the generals, but one of my favorite cards from this one is Skullbriar. He's really, really incredible, I find. His ability is really powerful. And he's able to keep those +1/+1 counters. I know there's a bunch of cards that you can use to keep on doing this over and over and over. And I think he's a pretty powerful general considering for 2 he's a 1/1, becomes a 2/2, and so on and so forth. The only way to stop him is to tuck him under your opponent's library, which in itself is not a bad call for any general. Skipping over a few of these, I like Riddle Keeper 2. That's an interesting card. I don't think it's that powerful. Really, it's not that powerful at all, but it's interesting. It's a good concept, I think, and if they can produce some more cards like that, and already they're showing some M12 cards that talk about Planeswalker in the card text, I think it's really interesting to see these kinds of cards, and I wonder where they'll go from here. We've also got Eternal Witness. Now, this is amazing, I find. Having Eternal Witness in an EDH deck is great. It is one of the key cards in any deck that runs green, no matter what you say. And putting it in and giving it to you for the Commander pack is amazing, and I don't see why. And I think Wizards is great for producing these. There's other good ones other good cards here. Sewer Nemesis is another one of those new cards that I think is amazing. Uh, it's great, and I've seen it actually play differently than just choosing your opponents, because if you choose yourself and you're running like a Reanimator kind of deck, you're kind of fueling your own graveyard, which is really awesome. Another great card like Eternal Witness is Solemn Simulacrum to add into the decks. Solemn should be in every deck. Any deck that has creatures in it runs Solemn Simulacrum. It's really that powerful to get a land and to draw a card for it dying. It's a good chump block. It's a great card overall. I would always run it. Let's see here. There's some other good cards. Nothing fantastic. Muldrifter's great. These are all pretty good, decent cards. Like, they don't just give you scrap, which I like a lot because it's really pushing the format. And it's something that I'd like to see played much more often. Vulture Zombie is great. Avatar of Woe is a great card. Yeah, they're all great creatures. Okay, here we are with the artifacts. Holy bejesus, wow, awesome Soul Ring. Soul Ring, Soul Ring, Soul Ring, Soul Ring, Soul Ring in every single Commander deck. That is incredible. That is really incredible, and I really like that idea. Because Soul Ring and Top are the key cards in every Commander deck, and Top less than Soul Ring. And I understand they didn't want to put Top in, but Soul Ring. Holy Jesus, Soul Ring. That's a good card. The other artifacts aren't bad. The Signets are great to have, just for a little bit of mana fixing. And again, holy Jesus, Lightning Greaves. Lightning Greaves is another one of those great cards to add in.
The only thing that they could have made complete to add in for these would be Sensei's Divining Top. But I understand they don't want to do that. That's cool. Oblivion Stone's also pretty good too. Other in terms of the enchantments, Grave Pact is a great card. Uh, I don't know how I feel about the vows right now. I think I'd have to place test with them, but I'm not sure if it's more effective to enchant your creatures or your opponent's creatures. Because, I mean, giving them to your creatures gives them a buff. Like this one gives +3/+3 in trample, +2/+2 in flying, +2/+2 in intimidate. But and I understand that they can't attack you or but on the other hand they can't attack you or a planeswalker you control. I guess in a multiplayer game it would be better to enchant your opponent's stuff because that way they can still attack other people's planeswalkers and other people and still have all the bonuses, but just not be able to attack you. I feel like they're really interesting and I'd like to see them get played even though I haven't really seen them played aside from these commander decks so far. And here we are with our instants. I think the instants that they put in these decks are pretty decent. I mean, this one's just fairly okay. A little bit of control and destruction and stuff. Nothing overwhelming. But I think they were pretty good. The sorceries I found were really good. Living Death is a great sorcery. It's a great card altogether, especially in a deck like this. Uh, I really like the Joined Forces cards, especially Shared Trauma. I know a lot of people weren't too thrilled about it, but I think it's incredible. Uh, it's great for EDH because of all the recursion you have, and I don't see why people wouldn't run it if they're running black, especially to discourage other players and to, to power themselves up by just recurring everything, like Living Death, Shared Trauma style. Especially if you could, like, remove someone's graveyard. It's just incredible. Mind's Aglow isn't bad either. I mean, it's probably considered better than Shared Trauma, but I'm not as big a fan of it. I'm just not a big fan of that one as much as the others. Some other good cards: Sign in Blood, Buried Alive. I think was a great addition. It's nice to see it. I like Buried Alive a lot. Stitched Together is good. Cultivate, Siphon Flesh. I think Siphon Flesh is hilarious. The picture's great, and the ability is great. There's nothing wrong with that card. Um, yeah, and the rest were pretty decent. I can't complain about them. I think they're really great. I think there was nothing incredible in the Sorcerer's instance, but this is more of a creature deck anyways. And finally, last but not least, lands. I think the most important land in the Commander decks is Commander Tower. Really incredible. I really like how they added the Commander's color identity into the text. I mean, there's no other way to really do it besides from that. But I think it's a really great card. It's got really great art. Uh, Overall, it's a good card, and I think it really has a lot of functionality. I mean, it's got perfect synergy with all generals, and I don't see why people wouldn't run it in any multicolored general. The monocolored generals I can see perhaps building back a bit on this because it's just a land and it's not a basic, and therefore you can't search for it. But I think it's a great card overall. Of the other land cards that they give you, the cycle lands are really good. There's no complaining about those. I like how they use the bounce lands. I'm not too big on like the storage counter lands, but the bounce lands are good. The refuge is not a bad addition. Rupture Spire I don't like. This is the one card I really don't like is Rupture Spire, and I don't know why they added this because really they should have added Reflecting Pool. I know it's kind of annoying to ask them after everything that they've given us, but come on. Rupture Spire, that's such a bad card. At least give us Reflecting Pool or something. There's another bounce land, creature land. This is a good card. And, I'm complaining about the Rupture Spire, but Temple of the False God is a great addition, and I really like that they put this in. There's just nothing to really complain about Rupture Spire. I mean, when you get Temple of the False Gods. But, there it is. I'm doing it. And of course, the Terramorphic Expanse, Tranquil Thicket, and then a bunch of basic lands. Uh, I've played around a bit with these, and the decks seem to have a really good understanding of a mana base, and I've never had trouble with them. They've just really been really good to me. So this has been MTG Commander. I hope you like what you see, and subscribe and like.